Full time at the Emirates, Arsenal 0, West Ham United 1. It's another defeat, well, third of the season in the Premier League for Arsenal, but a damaging day in this title race. It now seems almost impossible to wrestle it back from Liverpool. I think it was unlikely anyway in the circumstances, given the injury situation with what's happened over the past few weeks, with Havertz going down in Dubai and Martinelli obviously going down at Newcastle. But I think altogether there's a real sort of feeling of disappointment inside the Emirates all too often this season. Arsenal had enough to win this game today. There was obviously Trossard in the team, Marino. They both started and both had half decent opportunities in the first half to score. I think Calafiori probably had the best chance of the game in the first half when the ball dropped to him outside the box and he put it straight at Areola. But the biggest story today is, well, not the biggest story, one of the biggest stories of this game is Declan Rice's performance. Hooked midway through the second half for Zinchenko of all people. So I think that tells its own story in terms of how disappointed not only Arteta was, but the fans were with his performance on the day. He does seem to struggle against West Ham, it's obviously his former employers, but yeah, we didn't create anything at all. That's probably the most moot point of the game, being Rice's performance. I think the whole narrative around Arsenal's attack has obviously grown. It's grown legs throughout this season and has been done to death really, but it just becomes clearer and clearer by the week that Arsenal needed to invest in January in the attacking lines. I think there were players available. You saw players like Matthias Tell, Tell go to Spurs, and not set the world on fire there, but regardless he was available when Arsenal decided not to do that deal. Whether they, if they're going to wait for somebody bigger or better in the summer, if it's Benjamin Sesko from Leipzig, if it's Victor Osimhen, whoever it might be, they need to get that one right. But this defeat hurts, I would say, more than anything else, because it's a simple reality now that Arsenal's points tally in comparison to what Liverpool have at this point in the season, particularly given the fact that Liverpool dropped points in midweek and this was Arsenal's game in hand, given the current climate. Obviously Liverpool play tomorrow against Manchester City, but Arsenal needed to win this game. It's as simple as that, and they can't continue to drop points. That's just become a reality because they've done it on too many occasions this season when Liverpool have dropped points as well. There was the Everton game which I was here for as well, and that felt like a terminal result. But this one really does. It's Arsenal's first loss at home in the Premier League this season. So I think that's probably that in terms of the title. It might have been that anyway. I think I've been quite down on it over the past few weeks, particularly given what happened in the January transfer window and the fact that we didn't add to the squad and the injuries that piled up straight after as well. But listen, look, there's plenty of questions to be asked about how this squad has been built over this period of time, but in isolation, this result, it feels terminal. It's the result that feels terminal. I'll leave it there, but we've got a game away at Forest on Wednesday, which I'm not going to be there for, unfortunately, but this one feels terminal, and that's my headline as such from Arsenal 0, West Ham United 1. I realised I completely forgot to mention the Lewis Skelly red card as well. Initially, I thought it was harsh because it was just on the halfway line, but upon reflection, I think, Kudus could have potentially lobbed Raya from there, and it didn't look like Gabriel or Saliba, either of them were on the cover, so no complaints there really, to be honest.